They laughed at her, they mocked her, they called her barren. For years, she lived in shame, but one day, her son returned, not as a boy, not as a stranger, but as a king, and the whole village that mocked her fell silent in shock. This story begins in a small African village, surrounded by green farmlands, mud huts, and people who knew each other's lives too well. In that village lived a woman named Ada. She was kind, she was hardworking, she respected everyone. But Ada carried one pain in her heart. She had no child. In her culture, children were seen as blessings, as proof of a woman's worth. Without children, a woman was treated as if she was cursed. And so, every day, Ada endured whispers. At the stream, women giggled behind her back. At the market, men shook their heads and said, "That one is useless, no child to call her own." During village festivals, other mothers sat proudly with their children while Ada sat alone. The loneliness was heavy, the shame was unbearable, but Ada carried herself with quiet dignity. She prayed, she worked her farm, she hoped. Yet every night she asked the same question, "God, why me? Why no child?" The mockery grew louder with each passing year. Neighbors told her husband to leave her and marry another woman. Some even called her cursed. One day, during a naming ceremony in the village, the women danced, holding babies in their arms. When Ada joined the celebration, one woman shouted, "Ah, why are you here? Go home, this is for mothers, not empty women." Everyone laughed. Ada stood frozen, her heart breaking into pieces. She ran home, locked her door, and cried until her eyes were swollen. That day, she told herself, "I may never have a child, but I will never lose my dignity." Still, deep inside, she longed for someone to call her mama. Years passed. The village forgot about Ada. They thought she would die alone with no legacy. But destiny had another plan. Far away in the city, a young boy grew up. He was not born of Ada's womb, but life tied his story to hers. This boy was once abandoned as a baby, left at the edge of the village to die. Ada had been the one who found him that night. She picked him up, wrapped him in her wrapper, and fed him with the little she had. But the elders, in their cruelty, told her she could not keep him. They claimed he was cursed, and another family in a distant town eventually adopted him. Ada never saw the boy again, but she never forgot. Many years later, the village gathered for a festival. Drums beat, dancers filled the square, and people wore their finest clothes. Suddenly, the sound of royal horns echoed. Everyone turned to see a convoy of horses and guards approaching. At the center rode a tall, strong young man dressed in royal attire, a golden crown on his head. He carried a staff of power, and his robe shimmered in the sun. The people gasped. This was no ordinary visitor. This was a king. Whispers spread. Who is he? Which kingdom does he rule? When the king stepped down, his eyes scanned the crowd, and then he walked straight toward Ada, the same Ada they had mocked for years, the barren woman. The crowd was confused. The king knelt before Ada, tears in his eyes, and said, "Mama, do you remember me? I am the child you saved, the one you wrapped in your cloth. You gave me life. You are my true mother." Ada's knees grew weak. She covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. She could not believe it. The crowd gasped. Villagers who once mocked her now looked at each other in shame. The same woman they ridiculed was being honored by a king. From that day, Ada's life changed forever. The king built her a beautiful house in the village. He gave her servants, gifts, and respect. He told everyone, "Without this woman, I would not be alive. She is my true mother. Mock her again, and you mock your king." Suddenly, the same women who once laughed at her now bowed before her. The same men who mocked her now greeted her with respect. Ada was no longer the barren woman. She was the mother of a king. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Click like so more people can see it. Comment below what lesson do you take from Ada's story. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories that inspire and transform. Remember, life can surprise us all. The one they mock today may wear the crown tomorrow.